Hello guys, so in today's video we're going to make this chord machine from Akuto Studios. You can find the link for this model on their website. The link is in the description below. So without further ado, let's get started. So first things first, I'm going to the top view. Let me just enable the screencast key so you can follow along. Okay, so in top view, Shift A, let's add an image reference. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to scale this up, something like this. And now let's add a plane, Shift A, add a plane. Select the image reference and move the reference so you can match the plane. Now select the plane once again. Tab to edit mode, S, X, and scale. Tab. Let's select the reference once again, move it. Move it a little down as well. So select the plane, Shift C to go to the solid mode, Tab to go to the edit mode, and E to extrude. Make it 0.2. Now Ctrl Alt. You can select all the edges with this shortcut. All the 4 edges are selected. Now okay, now hit 7 to go to the top view, and we're going to add a bevel here. Ctrl B with 4 segments, 8 segments, sorry. Now we're going to select these top edges with Shift Alt and Ctrl B once again. Just scroll your mouse wheel so you can increase or decrease the amount of segments. In this case I'm going to use only 1. Now we're going to select these 4 edges, these, and these. Ctrl B once again. Scroll the mouse wheel and okay. Now right click, shade smooth. Now we're going to make all these holes for these buttons here, for the screen, for these buttons. We're going to add a hole here also for the USB cable. So let's get started with this. So in top view, 7 in your keyboard, Shift A, let's add a cylinder with 64 sides. I'm not going to use a subdivision surface, so I'm going to use with this number of vertices so we can have a smooth geometry. Shift C. Let's move it around here. Scale this down. Now in front view, edit mode, let's bring this up. Now let's add an array modifier with 7 copies. Let's change the X factor. Now duplicate this array. Change the value for the X and the Y axis. Change it to 4 copies. Let's try to match the reference image, changing these values here. think it's good. Just 96. Okay. Now Shift D to copy, Tab to go to the edit mode and bring this to the side here. You can delete both array modifiers. Shift D, let's copy this one as well and bring it down. Scale S. You don't need to be very perfect on this, just select this one, S. Now let's grab these vertices and delete. Select this all, Shift T, R, and give it a rotation of 180 degrees. In this case, minus 180, and move it to this side. Now with the edge selection tool on your keyboard, select these two and F to close. Same on this side, F, the top, F, slash to isolate this piece here. Select the bottom and F. Tab. Let me check. Okay. I need to bring this one up. That back one also. Move it a little down. So it could be in the same level. Now Shift D in front view, Tab A to select all, rotate 90 degrees, move it to the side, 3 to go to the right view, put this on the middle, R 90 degrees, bring this down, and S to scale this, or less. Here I think it's good. Now place it inside of this base. And now for the screen, I'm going to select the base, Tab to go to the edit mode, with face selection, Shift T, let go, and P to separate. Select this one, Tab to go to the edit mode and select these vertices. Move them to the left. Now A to select all and S to scale. Let's adjust here. Okay. Tab to go to the edit mode and then E to extrude. A to select all, Shift C to the wireframe mode, and let's bring this down. Shift C, select all these pieces, and Ctrl J. Sorry, I need to apply this erase modifier on these ones. So select again all these pieces and Ctrl J, join them in one single object. Now select the base, add a Boolean modifier, pick this, and select the meshes. Okay, you can hide these ones. Let's can see, we have this strange shading. Normally the Boolean makes this, so we need to make some changes here. First of all, we need to merge some vertices, so select this and M to merge at last. This M at last. Shift R. This is my shortcut for the repeat blast action. Okay, we need to merge all these so we don't have problems. Also here, M last. You can join this, J. You need to merge these ones, M last. I'll join these two, J. Okay, now we're going to add a bevel, so select these edges. Oops, this. Ctrl B, bevel with 4 segments. Let me change the value to, okay, let's select and Ctrl C to copy. I want all these parts to have the same bevel size. Now select this. And now you don't need to pick one by one. You can hit Shift G and face angles, and this will select all the edges that we need, the interior and the top ones. Shift C, let me check. Okay, I think they're all selected. And now Ctrl B and Ctrl V to copy the bevel. So as you can see, we have some shading problem here. To fix this, you can go to the modifier panel and add a weight normal. Nothing changed because you need to enable the auto smooth in object data properties. So let's go. Under normals, check auto smooth. As you can see, this solves the problem. Let's add this to a collection. Hit M, new collection, and call it Chord Machine. Okay, you can move this also. Okay, and now it's time to make the buttons. So I'll begin with the screen maybe. Just select this face, edit mode, Shift D, let go, and P, separate. Let's rename this part as screen. This is our base. So select the screen, tab to go to edit mode, A to select all and push it a little up. Now Shift D to copy, tab, let's move it up. This is our screen glass. So with edge selection, just hit E and Z to extrude down. As you can see, normals are flipped, so click Alt-N, flip. Okay, you can remove this modifier. You can remove to the screen as well. Delete this bottom face. Just hit delete. And with the edge selection, select this top edge and Ctrl B. Scroll the mouse wheel for segments. Okay, now select all with A and bring it down. Just rename it screen glass. Now for these buttons, I'm going to select tab, first tab to go to the edit mode. Face selection, select this and this, Shift G and choose perimeter. This will select all these buttons, these small buttons. Shift D, let go, P to separate. I'll rename it small buttons. Tab to go to the edit mode, E to extrude. Now with this face selected, I'm going to add a bevel, Ctrl B, with 4 segments. Okay. Now let's make this one, this big one. Face selection, edit mode, Shift D, let go, P. Rename it big button. I think I'll rename it my tone button. Now tab to edit mode, E and extrude. 3 to go to the right view, push it a little up, more or less like so. I to inset, remove this modifier. Okay, the image, the reference image is distorted, so I think more or less like so. And now E. Let's add an edge loop here, Ctrl R, select this bottom one and S, scale this. Select this and Ctrl B. Let me push it a little down, Ctrl B. Select these top edges, Ctrl B. Slash, isolate this part, and Ctrl B once again. Ctrl Z. Let me select only this slash and this one. Okay, I think it's good now. Tab to edit mode, A to select all, and S, scale a little more. for this button here, with the edge, with the face selection, Shift T, P to separate. This is octave button. Tab, E to extrude. Now with the edge selection tool, let's go to the top view, Shift C, select all these edges, right click and subdivide to add an edge loop here. Select all the edge loop and Ctrl B with 2 segments. Isolate this, just grab this top one and move it a little down. Now select all these edges. Remove the weight normal modifier. Select all these. No, Ctrl Z. Something is missing here. Need to select this as well. And now Ctrl V. Okay, slash. Tab A to select all and scale it. And S, Y to scale it on the Y axis as well. Okay, I think we're done. Let's move it a little up. Okay, moving on, let's make the USB cable. So top view, Shift A, let's add a reference. Choose this one, scale it. Position like so. Now select the base, tab, go to edit mode, face selection, select this face, Shift T, let go, P. Now select this, E, to extrude. Remove this modifier. Okay, but now I'm going to add an edge loop here. Ctrl R. Face selection, select these faces. Alt E, extrude along the normals. Select these faces. Shift Alt. Slash to isolate this. Select this one. No, I'm not gonna select that one. I don't need them. Okay, Ctrl V to bevel. Now we have a circle here. So what we're going to do is to select this face here, give it an inset, scale, not an inset, right click. If you don't have the loop tools, just go to the preference add-ons, check, this must be checked, loop tools. Now right click, loop tools, circle. Okay, we need to arrange the angle here. So let's put it on 48. Now extrude E. Now for the chord, I'm going to add a plane tab to go to the edit mode, Ctrl R, let's add a natural here, and with vertex selection, select these four and delete. Select all with A and push it. Let me check the wireframe so you can see the middle, more or less the middle of the circle. Around here. Uncheck wireframe. Now grab this vertex, bring it around here. Now we E to extrude, and now hit Ctrl, and with the right mouse button you can make these extrusions. You don't have to click E several times, just Ctrl and with the right mouse button. Let me select these two vertices and right click, subdivide. Select these two, right click, subdivide. Okay. I'm going to convert these to curve, right click and curve. Go into the properties, geometry and depth 0.03. I think it's enough. Over to mesh. Now we're going to add a subdivision surface modifier. 2 segments. Shift C. Select these vertices. Select these ones too. Now I'm going to select these vertices, Shift D, P, separate these. I'm going to make the jack plug. Select the vertices and SX0 to scale, to make the straight line. Now E to extrude. Let's disable the subdivision. E to extrude, let go, and S. Now E, let go, and push it around here. F to close this. Now high to inset. E to extrude. E again. One more time. And one more time E. And now we're going to scale this down. Ctrl R. And an edge loop here and scale this down. Let me enable the subdivision. Okay, we need to add some bevels. So first of all, select these and F. Let's close this one. Select these. Ctrl B. Select these and Ctrl B. Set a bevel. Now select these three edges and Ctrl B. For this top here, I'm going to inset with I and M and collapse. Now let's grab the middle vertex and push it a little to the right. Okay, I think we're done. Okay, I renamed this cord. This is the jack plug and this is the USB. I'm going to make these details. Let me uncheck this reference image. I'm going to make these details, these arrows, this text here. So going to the front view, top view, sorry. Shift A, let's add a plane. Shift C, wireframe mode. Let's make this double arrow. Move the plane from here. Scale a little more. Scale on the y-axis as Y. Now Ctrl R, two cuts as X. Ctrl R in the middle. Now I need to bevel this, Ctrl B. So the cut here, select these three, M, last. Select these, and these, M, last. And the same here on this side. With face selection, you can delete these faces. Okay, to select all, let's bring this let's move it up. It's too much. Just around here. Okay. Now select the arrow. Shift D. Tap to edit mode. Move it to the right and R to rotate 60 degrees. Now for the text. Shift A, text. Let's move it. Scale this down. Rotate 90 degrees. Scale. Let's go to the text properties. Tab. Delete this. And just right octave. Tab. S. Scale a little more. Move this up. Three, go to the right view. I think here is good. Now select this text. Shift T to copy and move it tab, delete all these and write semitone. And we have another text on the left side, so Shift T. Just rotate this with R minus 180 degrees. Tab. Delete Akuto Studio. Okay. Now we're going to make 4 holes here on the bottom. So I'm going to use this face here, Shift T. Let go P to separate. Let's use this to make the holes. Move it, scale this down. Ctrl 7. Go to the bottom view and place it around here. You can scale it down. I think it's too much, just a little more, bigger. Extrude with E. Remove the modifier. Now let's move this to the inside of the base, just a little more. We need 3 more copies, so I'm going to add a mirror modifier on the X and on the Y axis. Modifier, now select the base. Let's add a boolean. The picker shows these cylinders. Apply the boolean. Tab. Let's go to edit mode. Let's push this down. Now select the base. We need to add. Let me just hide this. Select the base. Now select these edges, inside and the outside. And Shift G, base angles. This will select all the 4 holes. Okay. Now Ctrl B, let's add a bevel with 4 segments. Tab. We're going to make the screw. Shift A. Let's add a UV sphere, 16 segments and 8 rings. Go into front view. Edit mode, Shift C, delete these vertices. Now with hatch selection, I'm going to select these, and these. And Ctrl B, set a bevel with 2 segments. So now let's join this J. This J. And now this and this M last. To merge these 2 vertices, M last. Now with face selection, let's select these. Alt E, extrude along the normals. S, Z, 0. Straight this these faces, move it down. S, X, scale. I forgot something. Ctrl Z. Let's add an inset first, because we're going to use a subdivision. So Alt E once again to extrude. SZ0. Push it a little down. Now SX. Shade smooth. And add a subdivision. 2 segments. There's some distortion here. I'm going to use the knife tool, K. Let's add some edges here to support this geometry here. Enter, K. Enter. Okay. Let's scale this down into front view. Sorry, SZ. And rotate 180 degrees. Ctrl 7 to the bottom view. Scale this down. More or less position like the middle. You can bring this up. Scale this. Okay, we need to scale on the Z-axis. Bring it a little up. S, Z. Scale this like so. Okay, and now let's add a mirror modifier on the X and on the Y axis. So it's done. In this second part, we will be creating textures for our 3D model that we made from scratch in the first part. I hope you enjoy and learn something new with it. So without further ado, let's get started. I forgot to make some details here. This circle here and this stripe here. So let's add them to our model. Let's add a plane tab. Let's push it up. Scale this down. Position like this. Now scale it on the x-axis, SX. Move it down. Just rename this, I don't know, connector. Put it inside of the collection. Now edit mode, Shift D, P to separate. Now let's grab this part, scale this down. Just move it a little up. Tap. Let's move it just a little more. Okay. Now we can proceed with the shading part. Let's go to the shading. Now add a new material, call it base. Let's give it some kind of light gray. 0.6. Let's reduce the roughness, make it a little shiny. Now we're going to add some kind of noise here, because there are no perfect textures, so I'm going to add a noise texture and a bump node, sorry. Connect them like so. Now select the noise texture and hit Ctrl T to bring our mapping and our texture coordinates. And let's plug the object to the vector, because this is not unwrapped, so we're using object. Let's increase the scale. Shift and select the 3 axes. This will give us the same value to the 3. Reduce the normal strength. 15. Let's decrease the scale of the noise. Let's add some kind of metallic also. Now for the buttons, let's rename this white. Roughness 0.4. Kind of not poor white. .8 maybe. Okay. Let's apply the same material to this button here and to this one, white. Now select the buttons and select these and Shift G parameter. This will select all these top ones, and in top view, Shift Z to go to the wireframe mode and I to inset. Okay, we need to apply a new material to this part here. So go here, click new, call it dark gray. Change the color, hit assign, just a little more dark, sorry. .04. Okay. Now for this, add a new material, call it black. Now select all these parts that we want the black, these and these. Now select the one that is already texture, Ctrl L, link materials. Okay. Let's make it black on this part also. Ctrl plus your numpad and add new. select black and assign. Okay, slash. Now for this button here, I'm going to add a new material and call it orange, maybe red. It's more like a red color. Just choose the picker. Something like this. Apply the same material to this part. Let me get the other reference image. I think we have black also. Yes. Select the two reference images and M and put them on a new collection. Now select the USB, the new material, choose black. Now tab to edit mode, select this face and Ctrl plus, select all these. Ctrl plus, sign, black, sign. Maybe one more, Ctrl plus, sign. Okay. Let's texture the screw. Add a new material for this one. Call it screws. Let's put it metallic in 1, rotation or roughness, sorry, 0.3. Make it a little darker, like so. Slash. Let's copy this from the base. I'll choose the screw and Ctrl V to copy all these nodes. Let's increase the scale and a nice texture. Reduce the bump strength. Shift and select all 10. We're going to now select this plug, black. Let me save. Shift Z to wireframe mode. And now hit Ctrl I to invert selection. Add a new material. Select the screws and apply. Okay, this is happened because we have the subdivision surface modifier. To fix this, I'm going to add an edge loop here, Ctrl R, and push it like so. Add a new material. This will be our chord material. For this one, you need to select the principal BSDF. Now go to Preference, Add-ons, and you need to enable the node wrangle. We're going to bring some PBR textures. The link is in the description of this video. Select the height, the normal, and let me see how it looks. Now delete. Go again, Ctrl Shift T. I'm going to select the metallic, normal, and roughness. We need to unwrap this, so tab to go to the edit mode and select these bottom edges. Right click, mark Sim A and U to unwrap. Go to the UV editor and you can scale this. I'm going to change the scale here to Shift, drag, 10, I think it's enough. Now let's change the base color to this kind of red, orange. Check the values, 1, maybe 0.5, 5.1. Let's decrease the scale, the displacement 0.05. Okay. Let's move it to the screen. Let's hide the screen glass and select the screen. Let's move it a little up. I'm in edit mode. New material, call it screen. Now I'm going to bring our texture that I created in Photoshop. Plug the color, the base color. Let me check the UVs. Tab. Let me just quickly unwrap. Let's rotate this. Okay. We can decrease the roughness, make it a little shiny, 0.3. And now let's texture the screen glass. Add a new material, call it screen glass. I'm using Hoeve, so in this case we need to make the material like this. Transmission 1, roughness 0.1. And now we need to make some changes here. The material under settings, check screen space reflections, and then go into render properties and under screen space reflections, check refraction. Okay. Now the screen is done. Now for this bottom part, I'm going to add a texture here. Let me change the hdri so we can see it better. We have two materials. Now I'm going to Shift E, copy this principal BSDF G to move it a little down. Let's bring this to the top and grab this texture, plug the color to the base color. Now we need to mix these two materials, so for that Shift A, add a mix shader. Put it here. Now connect the second BSDF to the bottom. Okay, this is not unwrapped, So what we're going to do is to tab, select all with A, right click, unwrap Smart UV. Okay. Now select the bottom part here on the UV editor. You can select all the rest and put it outside the UV editor. Let's rotate this one. Scale. Let's check clip so we don't have repetitions. Something is missing here. We need to plug the alpha to the factor since this is a PNG texture. Scale a little more. Let's position this at the center. More adjustments here. Let's bring this up. Okay. Let me change the HDR. Now we have one more texture to add, so copy this, Shift E. Let's bring our texture, this one. Once again, color to base color. Let's add another mix shader. Shift A. Plug it here. Connect this BSDF to the shader. Now the alpha to the factor as well. Check clip. Now we need a mapping so we can control the position of this texture. So Ctrl T, rotate on the Z axis minus 90. We're going to decrease the scale and location. The X and the Y, we need to change that. Ctrl 7 to the bottom view. X and Y, something like this. Okay, I think we're done. Let me see how it looks. I think it's good. Yes. Okay, in this video we're going to prepare this for render, so Shift A, let's add an empty, a cube in this case, SZ to scale on the Z axis. Let's go to the right view, 3 on numpad, top view with 7, SX to scale this on the X axis. Let's hide the empty, select all, unhide the empty, select the empty now and Ctrl P and set parent to this empty object. So you move this, you move everything. So let's rotate this 90 degrees on the Z axis. Now on top view, let's rotate 90 degrees. Sorry, I'm going to give it 30 degrees angle here. Okay. Now in front view, 1, Shift A, let's add a camera. Let's drag, open another window. This will be our camera view on this left side. Let's move the camera to the front I'm going to change the dimension also, 2000 by 2000. Now let's grab the empty and just move it a little to the side. Shift D, sorry, let's undo, select all, Shift D, and let's move this one to this side here. Now select the empty, rotate. Now I'm going to do, sorry, just put it on 0, minus 30. Now let's rotate on 180 degrees. Move this a little down. Now 30 degrees once again. Something like this. I think I'm going to move. Let's change to normal so we can follow. Let's go to the render preview. Let me use the easy hdri. I'm going to choose this one. Now in the render settings, let's check ambient occlusion, check transparent under film and high contrast in color management. Let's add a plane. We're going to put this on the back tab. Go to the edit mode, scale these on the right view, rotate 90 degrees and bring it to the back, scale it. I'm going to Shift A and add an area light. Right view, rotate 90 degrees. I want to give some light to this plane, to this back plane. Some kind of circle light. So I'm going to change here the values, the power. Let's increase this to 1000. And choose disk for the shape. Let's increase the size a little more, 5000. Let's reduce the hdri strength to about 0.3. Let's add a material to this backplane, just pure white. I've already had this area light here. For the hdri, let's change the rotation on the Z axis, also on the Y axis, just to give this kind of light in the glass. Jump to the shader editor and let's go to the world. This is where we have the hdri nodes. Let's increase the U value to 0. And the saturation you can reduce as well. Let's go back to the 3D viewport. Rotate just a little more, something like this. For this light I'm going to increase 10,000, and for this light I just give it a little rotation. This is an area light, sorry, I missed this part on the tutorial. I didn't record this part, but it's an area light with 2000 strength, and it's a square. Here I'm trying to rotate, but I'm going to go back, put it here where it was. Let's increase this one once again, 20,000. I think it's enough. Okay, so once again, render settings, my contrast, 2000 by 2000. Okay, just go to the render image. This is the final result. Hope you like this tutorial. So see you on the next one. Bye.